the Empress Caress, and today's message is going to begin with a short story written by yours truly. It is entitled Sister Sister. This story is about the battle between light and dark. So, in the beginning, there was nothing, which was he. Then within his reflection there was she. And then within the darkness they lay, within the concept of chaos, and within the chaos of passion. The struggles within the powers were so destructive that the energies could have collapsed the fabric of existence if boundaries were ever pushed too far. Committed to who she was, darkness chose to always stand in her whole essence. As nothing soaked within the waters of consciousness, he sought out illumination, so came light. Willing to play her part, all there was for her to do is shine. Awakened by the light of day, darkness was now aware. From nothing emerged duality. And from that point on, light was within the palm of his hand, and with her, they created life. So, I titled this story Sister Sister because today's message was, it was deep, but it was the story about the beginning of time and how this whole concept of duality, good and bad, light and dark, negative, positive, light-skinned, dark-skinned, it all began in the beginning. So in the beginning, consciousness manifested the opposite of itself, and the physical, but not the physical as we know it today. So not earth, not materialized upon the planet or within this universe, but within consciousness. So the opposite of consciousness was masculinity. When masculinity was created within consciousness, it emerged. And once it emerged, it was left lonely. So with that being said, we are taught that the beginning of time was with Adam. And Adam created Eve out of his rib. However, that is not the case. From nothing came nothing's counterpart. Within nothing was the chaos. The first masculine energy, Noon, had a divine counterpart that was exactly like him. There was no opposite. There was no duality. And during that process, because there was no duality, there was a lot of power struggle, a lot of chaos within chaos, because these two energies represented chaos and they were one and the same. So, throughout the process, throughout the storms and the battles within the primordial water, long before the physical world was created, this was occurring. So this was a battle between the masculine and his first wife. So sad and just taken back by the unwillingness of his counterpart to submit, he manifests her opposite. Someone that was to bring light and also create according to the direction that he was given by consciousness. So she would have followed her guidance a particular way versus the energies that was there before. So there was chaos and darkness before. And then came light. So you have the masculine, you have his first wife and his second wife. You have one that represents darkness, you have one that represents the light, and he is the serpent holder or the staff in the middle. Because also at this time, people did not exist. The essence of beings were more amphibian-like, more snake-like. The women were more snake-ish, and the males more, I was going to say reptile, but more alligator or frog. Like, this is before people. So when you think about Adam is the sun. This is before the sun. This is before the sun was birthed. The sun was birthed by light. So let's call her Eve. So Eve was the second wife. He created with the second wife. He created existence with the second wife. And disowned the first wife, the essence, the void, darkness. And this is where evil starts. This is where corruption begins, because hell has no fury like a woman scorned. Once she was disowned and set aside, she decided to create her own counterparts and create her own underworld that would have been the opposite of the world that had been created by nothing in the light. So within this underworld, she vowed to destroy the essence of life and all things light within it. And that began with the divine feminine that was now associated with the first man and all of her descendants from that point on. So from that point on to now, there's been a battle between the essence of light and dark. And they have created this story in many different ways. So on a grand scale, we think it's about white and black. On a more mundane level, we think it's about light-skinned black girl or mixed girl versus dark-skinned girl. Or you're even tricked to believe that this is more so about the divine masculine, so then you hear about the reverse side, so the Cain and Abel, the brothers, when in all actuality, the nature is about the distortion of the divine feminine, and how her character was to be assassinated. throughout time. So you had one sister who basically vowed to assassinate the character of one throughout time. So we know the beginning to the story as Eve disobeying God and basically cursing all of humanity from that point on, causing humanity to get stuck in this this matrix or this ideal and this belief system that the divine feminine was the cause of pain and struggle, when in all actuality you have one energy, one divine feminine that represents dark matter, dark energy, who has chosen throughout time and space and dimensions to destroy the essence of the other divine feminine that represents love, light, and compassion. So it's 11:22 o'clock. So this story is what it all comes down to. Everything in existence comes down to that story, and it has played itself out in multiple different ways. So it has its webs. So you do have the brothers that are opposite of each other that are battling each other. You do have white and blacks against each other, but it started with the split between the two divine feminines. So there's a lot of women out there who are choosing to be hateful to other women just simply because they are different, or because they believe that the other woman is more preferred, so they are envious or jealous, and they act according to their self-noi, which is the past, the karma, and what they have been through. So a lot of the women that are descendants of the divine darkness, who are operating in their self-noi, are still operating in her first brain, which was jealousy, hate, and rage. But throughout time, the point of it all was for that energy to evolve and to merge with the light. So a lot of times you have a lot of light beings, women of the light, who are open to helping the women of the dark and merging with them, but we are not received by that energy. And it's because of 1313 on the clock. It's because of a generational curse that was placed on our people in general in terms of African descent. So there you have it. That was my message today. I urge all of the women out there, and even the men, because this is speaking on divine feminine, men also hold this energy within themselves as well. Seek out sisterhood, seek out brotherhood in your opposite. It's okay to be comfortable, but that's not where we're supposed to stay. That creates stagnicity. I hope this all made sense to you guys. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Excuse me. I'm going to go finish my nails and have a great rest of your day.